Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 73, Destination Manifestation. So I want to start by asking a question, and that is, in what social situations do you find are the most challenging for you? And that's really the topic of today's video, and really what this comes down to. I called it Destination Manifestation because it rhymes, because it's cool. And by having a clear destination, it tends to create more calm and more insight. I experienced this today in a way I never have before. So here's the cool thing. First of all, if you want to get a clear destination, you can follow the link in the description, or you can that one into your search bar and get it that way. So what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to talk about my best and dearly departed friend, Patty. One time he said to me, believe it or not, he says, "Tim, you're a high stress monkey." And this is based on, there's some psychology research around monkeys who are raised by wire cage moms. Now, my mom was awesome, but I was a high stress monkey. That is, in other words, I'm easily stressed in ambiguous situations that make me anxious. So a perfect example of this would be, and where I'm the most miserable and the most anxious is in bureaucratic official situations, doing taxes, filling out forms and documents. Now take that and add to that the form is in a language you can't read, and all the people around you are speaking a language you can't speak. That kind of levels it up. So today is the first time in years, in about 13 years, I've been here 15 years. In 13 of the years, I've had the help of a bilingual friend who could speak both fluent English and native Japanese. So I did it myself this time, and it was a little bit stressful. But here's what made this into something that was really awesome. Recognizing that I'm that high stress monkey, that I'm easily done this, I actually had myself noticing the situation, becoming mindful of the situation. And I can't take credit for doing anything special here. It's just that the person they assigned to me, because I couldn't read it and almost nobody else spoke English, they had this young man who was probably 20 or thereabouts, right? Anyway, young guy, and he was really, really nervous. He was visibly shaking when he was trying to ask me questions, start to write on the document. But that was good for both of us. And the reason that was good for both of us is normally I'm a miserable jerk when I'm in this really high stress monkey type situation, as though it's everybody else's job to make me feel comfortable, to solve my problem, when in fact that's what they're trying to do anyway. But seeing this young guy just shaken, obviously at least, if not far more anxious than I, shifted my consciousness. And that, plus a lot of long pauses where he had to go off and do something and come back because he was nervous, and maybe he had to go look some stuff up in a dictionary or whatever else. He didn't want to do it in front of me. I don't know. But this is normal for a lot of people in Japan who are uncertain about their English, which is the majority. But his English was fine. It wasn't awesome, but clearly enough to do this job. But he didn't believe that. But seeing how anxious he was, plus the pauses to reflect on this, I realized that the best destination for both of us was for me to focus on calming him down and helping him gain confidence about his competence in doing what he's doing. It also, because it shifted the attention away from me, shifted the attention away from my anxiety, which then went down. I was focused on how I could help him, help me, And for me, this was an EQ breakthrough. I have known for long years now that I deal poorly with ambiguous anxiety situations like this, especially where there's bureaucracy and unknowns and official crap. Even in Canada, I hated tax that much. But here, of course, it was even more so. But it was sort of like sink or swim. By recognizing that he needed my help and that I wasn't the only one in this situation who was experiencing anxiety, it made it better for all of us. I became other focused. And by doing that and myself being self-aware that the calmer I was, the calmer he would feel, and then helping him in any way I could to relax and to assure him that he was doing a good job, which he did. He was still nervous through most of it, but he calmed down over time as we had this time and I had these spaces to self-reflect and come to this exciting insight. And by focusing on helping him deal with his anxiety and his nerves and setting a clear destination, or what's also called an outcome goal, making him feel more calm, comfortable, confident, competent, and successful, because I may be the first person he's ever actually done income tax with in his possibly new position in the government. And I might have been the first foreigner he's actually dealt with who didn't know any Japanese. So and even if that weren't the case, he was certainly still nervous as though he didn't have a lot of practice. So this was really great, a really great insight for me, that also it helps my RAS, or my reticular activating system, the next time I know I'm in this situation, by talking to you about it, by reminding myself of it, by becoming mindful of it repeatedly. I now know what I want to do in that situation in the future. Does that mean I will always do it? No. Only if I think about it, only if I become self-aware enough to realize I need to be other aware. And it's like, what can I do to make the situation better for me, for others, and or myself? But it's amazing because it happened and I learned from it. I was mindful of the lesson. And this is actually ironic because having that clear destination, whether it is in some way to help others or to help yourself, or to make destination manifestation, that is, have a clear place you want to go, an inspiring destination, oftentimes called outcome goals, which you have no control over, by the way. If I say I want to make $1 million this year, I can't manifest $1 million. That's a delusion. But I can do small incremental behaviors that lead in that direction. And that is mainly facilitated by having the clear outcome goal and then becoming self-aware of the immediate steps I can take, like I did in this situation. I needed to be calm to calm him down. At the end of the interaction, I let him know that he did a really great job. And he was like, no, because that's sort of the social convention in Japan. You should never be confident about yourself. He says, no, you should be confident about this. You did it. I couldn't speak Japanese. You spoke English well enough that you were able to do this for me. Thank you. You did a great job. You really did. So hopefully I left him with some positive mindsets about his own abilities. But all of this was only made possible because I had a clear destination. Help him feel calm and confident. Having a clear destination, I could then go back to the moment we were in and say, what can I do? What action can I take now to make that happen? And that's the way you can really get results from outcome goals, is what action can I do now to head me in that trajectory? So I'm going to leave the link that's here. You can follow it there, or you can follow it in the description, and that will give you my Crush 2022 goal setting checklist. This has been Crush It Club episode 73, Destination Manifestation. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.